All right. Well, we're a classic example of when you're late, you're lost. We're starting 3 minutes late. I think that's the most we've ever missed. So we're good to be
But we are not lost. We may have been late, but we are not totally lost.
Well, I changed the password on the Vimeo account, which might have caused a cascading problem with the production of the live stream. So I can be blamed. Hey, grateful to be together. Thankful for everybody joining us live. Spencer Chipping joining us, Greg Anderson joining us, Steve Anderson. We're thankful that we're all here together Thursday, July 14th. So thanks for joining us live. And if you can't join us live, we're also grateful you tune in just at least to the recording. Fun way to build our community and connect 1 hour a week here where we're together and going over some of the things that we feel are important and bring our community together. We've got some great topics today. End of Smiles for Life instructions from Greg, as well as some good send-off, some positive
it's
things.
Not the end, Stu.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
It sounds so final.
It's the end of Smiles for Life.
We crossed the victory line for the 2022 campaign.
Yes. So we will, as we cross that finish line, Greg's got some good instructions for everybody. And then we've got a really fun resource partner that's been relevant this week on the email network that we're going to bring on from Eddie HR. And then we have longtime charter member, Dr. Ron Massey, coming on to talk about his successful Smiles for Life office, what advice he would give as what he's learned in dentistry, and what he would say if he went back and did it all over again. So let's hope everybody joins and it all works smoothly here. Greg, maybe we'll turn the time over to you for a little Smiles for Life whitening instruction and help.
Absolutely. So we are to a place where we are starting to do the accounting, as most of you know, but for review, the campaign where we raise the money raising part of the campaign officially ended June the 30th. However, we continue to accept contributions through August the 1st. And the reason we do that is there are many who have patients that are scheduled and we want to be sure we get those done, but we have a hard cutoff on August the 1st where we then decide how much money we are going to send to your local charity partner. It's also the cutoff for recognition. So as many of you know, at the annual event, we recognize all of those practices who have raised $10,000 or more. And we have a special announcement this morning for the office of Karen Williamson, who we love, who has raised $9,992.
Oh, she just missed it.
This morning, the Crown Council team did a fundraiser where we raised $8, which we credited to Dr. Williamson's account.
Yes,
even without any other on her part, she is now over the $10,000 mark. Anyway,
so Greg, another way to say it is the 2023 campaign officially starts August 2nd.
Yeah.
Right, so anybody received after the first goes on the 2023 roster, and we're off and running for the next year, right?
Yes, and there are many offices that do Smiles for Life year round.
Yeah.
Cool. And that's but we have to have some time when we say, okay, these are the final results for the 2022 campaign so that we can get the checks out. You'd be interested to know that as of today, we have raised just over $1.45 million. We anticipate by the end of the month breaking the $1.5 million mark, and that we have raised over $48 million together. Wow. And we should all clap for ourselves. I mean, that is just an amazing, it's a lot of people doing a lot of work and a lot of generosity.
Well, and when we talked about it earlier in the campaign, sometimes those three components that make the Smiles for Life whitening campaign work. The patients have to be generous, the practice has to be generous, and our sponsors are generous. I mean, all three of these groups have to come together to make it really work. And it's incredible to watch from our vantage point.
Amen.
Letters.
So as soon as August the 2nd shows up, We will post those results online on the crowncouncil.com Smiles for Life portal. And then we will generate a letter to every participating office that verifies the amount of the contributions that we have received from your office and the name of the local charity partner that will receive 50% of those funds. And we should have those letters in your hands by the 15th of August. So watch for that letter, review it carefully, because we write the checks about the 1st of September, and then we mail those checks to your practice. And we rely on you then to make an appointment with your charity, go and meet with them, hand deliver the check to them, thank them for their participation during the year. And then, as Steve said, the very next day, start to think about next year and get your campaign ready. Also, the best time to get cooperation from the charity you're giving money to is when you're giving them the money. It's amazing how receptive they are to helping you create more new patients for your practice when you're handing them a check that helps them too. And we admonish you to do that.
Take some great pictures too.
Oh yeah.
Please, yes.
Please take some pictures. Anyway, we just as we are so grateful for every dollar that has come in this year. We know that there is effort behind every single dollar, and we are consistently amazed by the generosity of this group. And we're grateful. We're volunteers just like you. And we're grateful to participate in this great ongoing effort.
Good work, team, and doing good.
You want to look at should we look at the list?
Yeah, if you got it, I've got it. If you don't.
Yeah, I got it. Hold on. Bring it up.
The
Results page. Can you guys see that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is under My Directory, Premium Member Hub, updated weekly, the Smiles for Life Whitening campaign numbers right here. Here we go. So here's all the top practices. We're going to have a lot of recognition at the annual event. Wow.
Very cool.
Very cool.
And that will be updated this Friday. And then we'll update that again on August the 2nd.
Nice. Okay. Is that it, Greg? Very good.
That's it. I
Thank
will leave you to your wonderful efforts.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right,
Great
guys.
having you on. Okay, bye.
All right.
Before we bring in our guest, I know Spence he met with our great resource partner, Ultradent, who is a huge, without them, Smiles for Life is impossible to, it does not happen. They're the producers of all the whitening and just an incredible partner, not only for that, but many other things. And I'm going to share my screen. This is a document that we got from them this week. This is can you guys see that okay?
There you go. Mm-hmm.
So schedule of events, they call these their retreats. And there's a big discount available for Crown Council members when you call Ultradent and book for one of these live retreats. When you book it, our Ultradent partners have said, just tell them you're a Crown Council member and you will get a discount on your schedule on the event that you pick. Spence, anything I'm missing here that you wanted to mention?
I would just echo you, Stu, is all as far as, what an amazing organization they are. So therefore you can only expect the best from these events that they have presented to us, and take advantage of this great deal. So cool. Thank you.
Yeah. If you go to look at all those lasers, lots of topics of lasers. Steve, do you know any of those speakers? Have you ever worked with any of those?
Yeah, a lot of them. And there will be a ton of good content here and great stuff. So if you're close, these are all great opportunities.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, let's check our waiting room to see if Eddie HR. Okay, he is. Let's let Jordan in from Eddie HR. As he's coming in, Spence, do you want to introduce Eddie HR? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, great. For all of our Crown listeners right now, we have worked so closely with Barbara Freet, and she has just helped us tremendously, right, over years and years in all things HR. Over the last couple of years, we've been onboarding Eddie HR and they've even co-presented with Barbara on some things within here in the Crown Council and at our annual events. And so today we have President of Sales Jordan Bogard with us from Eddie HR, and we're excited. And you saw on the email network that the Crown Council said, "Hey, Crown Council members, we will not skip a beat from all things that Barbara has presented and helped you with, as we also have Jordan as a main point of contact in all things HR." And so today we thought it would be awesome to talk a little bit about their business, as well as some of the areas where Jordan and team have seen areas of opportunity within practices. So Jordan, welcome to our Go Live today.
Hey, pleasure to be with you guys today. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate
Jordan, good to have you, man. Hey, a couple quick entry questions here.
Sure.
In terms of, I'll just give you a couple of scenarios that maybe you can shed some light on. With Crown Council members in all 50 states, and all 50 states having different laws, how do you guys as an organization deal with specific state laws and navigating that? Practicing, for example, in California is very different from an HR perspective than practicing in Texas, for example. I mean, a lot of different.
Sure.
So how do you guys deal with that? And just for the benefit of everybody who's watching, because everybody's in a different state, different situation.
No, that's a great question. I mean, honestly, every state is significantly different. And when you're talking about California, Washington, they kind of come up with their own rules. One of the biggest ones right now is they're requiring retirement or savings plans for their employees. And so they're forcing people to implement 401k plans, and it's getting really interesting. But no, we have a great solution for that. We have a system that you can put what state you work in, and then we automatically send out any updates that are happening within that state so that you're always aware of that kind of stuff. And then in regards to like onboarding and hiring, we help you walk through that whole thing. So job posting, we can review that and stuff. I mean, there's just a lot of data that we can provide, but definitely aware of what that's like. And we even have a lot of companies that own multiple have locations in multiple states. And so they have to abide by those laws. They have to set up employee handbooks and different things in those different states. And so, yeah, very familiar, and we can help out with all that.
All right. So here's next question. Hottest issue in HR today. Biggest hot topic, lightning rod issue is?
Hiring and retaining your employees.
Okay. Everybody's working on that. And
the biggest statistic I read today was the predictive index just stated that 1 in 5 employees in the U.S. are leaving their jobs over the past 6 months.
And
so it's not just hiring them.
Are you ready for the leading economic index? You ready for this one?
Let's hear it.
This is what I call the Panda Express economic index.
I love Panda.
This comes from the local Panda Express. So I measure what's going on in the economy by what's going on at Panda Express, who is actually closed down. They shortened their hours for a period of time because they could not keep staffed.
Steve, I don't see you as a big Panda Express eater at lunchtime.
True. And I have some members of the family who are big Panda.
Okay.
I was at Panda Express last night. It was fully staffed. The manager was fired up. I asked him about hiring. He said they are everything's on fire. They still have a few positions to fill, but he said things are much, much better today than they were 6 months ago. He said things are looking up. So if things are looking up at Panda Express, there is hope, folks. There is
Beef and
hope
broccoli. Beef
on
and
the hiring front for dental
Love it.
offices. So it may take a while. Okay, hiring. Talk to us real quick about social media and HR laws. So this is one I know that is always a big hot topic, especially in big companies.
Yeah.
And it touches dental practices as well. So what can or can't a dental practice mandate, if you will, or in terms of their rules for their team, what they can or can't do? For example, I've got a daughter who works for Chick-fil-A, and in their employee
Sure.
manual, they are not allowed to wear Chick-fil-A logoed anything in any of their social media. So that's against company policy. So you can't post anything on your social media if it has a Chick-fil-A logo on it. So social media, dental practices, what's the lay of the land these days?
So it gets complex because it kind of goes into your first question you asked me about what state they're in, right?
Yes.
And so every state is different, but I would say best practice to focus on is what have you determined exactly, like your daughter in Chick-fil-A, what is in your employee handbook, right? You should have that be your key access guide. And like, if you do allow people to post on there, great. If you don't, then post it in there, let them know that. But typically, if you're going to have employees post, you can't mandate that they post, right? But you can reward them and incentivize them. And that's actually one of my golden tickets right now, is that's the best way to hire new employees. Job boards, applicant tracking systems, they're phenomenal. Use them. We have one. Obviously, they're great. But if you've built a culture within your company that your employees trust you, they love you, they like to work for you, and they're willing to share that job and tell their friends to come work for you, that is 10 times more powerful than any job board you can post on. Any boosting you can spend thousands of dollars on. So yeah, in regards to social media, if you built a culture where people love to work for you and they want to share that, take it to your advantage and use that data and have them post for jobs, or let them know about promotions or things you have going on, or to help bring in new clients, right? That's a great way to do this through your employees. So that's awesome.
Okay, sorry for hogging the conversation.
Oh, you're good.
I love HR. Last question, then I'm sure Spencer and Stu have some questions. If a Crown Counsel office, far be it for me to say that there is one that does not have an employee handbook.
Yeah.
What do they do? Because you got to have one. I mean, that's probably your number one rule, is you got to have a handbook. If they don't have a handbook, where do they go? What do they do?
Great question. We do offer employee handbooks. We have multiple levels of service staff, where if you want to just do a one-time employee handbook, we only charge $250. That'll be for your specific company. We'll review it, make sure it's legal reviewed, make sure it's going to stand up in court. So you'll be good to go there. We also have an ongoing service to update that kind of stuff. So if you're interested, but yeah, an employee handbook is kind of like the first day of the job, right? If you don't set those expectations and sign off on an employee handbook, then your culture's already falling apart and your employees don't know what they're doing. So yeah, as annoying and mundane as having an employee handbook may be, you have to have one. Yeah, it's required. I highly recommend them.
Okay. Thank you, Jordan, for the advice.
Nice. Steve and I interviewed Joe Baguette last week, and his story of how he was hired is wild.
In fact, Jordan, it's exactly what you just said. Absent the social media part, but it was a team member.
Team member
that recruited him.
So the doctor that owned the practice that he joined promised any employee a week's vacation at like a Mexican resort if they were
Cabo for the whole family.
If they found the next new associate for the practice.
Big incentive, because this practice is in Alaska. So Cabo sounds really good when you live in Alaska in January.
So Jordan, I hate to one up you, but what other things can doctors be doing to find new employees besides Cabo trips?
That's a good one. So I've been presenting regularly on this to a lot of the different associations and things like that I've worked with throughout the past probably 3 months. I've done 30 of them. And it's interesting because you're seeing company like ice cream shops and Taco Bells and places like that. They're offering, $200 on the low end but there's an ice cream shop down the street from me that offers you $2,000 hiring bonus if you stay on for 90 days. No joke. $2,000, and they're paying $15 an hour.
Right.
Times have changed, right?
Times have
Um,
changed.
Some of the other cool things I've seen is like Costco memberships, passports to like Disneyland. So I have seen the trip incentives. But yeah, they've kind of built it as like a community and things they can do with their family to kind of build that culture within their company. And they pay for stuff for them like that. So that's been part of it. But yeah, I mean, there's tons of creative things you can throw out there to incentivize people to come work for you.
Very cool. Spence, any questions?
Yeah. Let me pull, because we've come at Jordan from a number of different angles, and all of these things are HR related. Now, the beauty of all of these things that Jordan has talked about, Eddie HR and Jordan is able to facilitate and manage and has a platform for managing all of these items that we are talking about and more. So the reason I bring this up is you're a practice, and you can rest assured that you can go to Jordan and you can talk about hiring and how to. We can talk about with him onboarding, how to manage the pay structure. That's a common regular topic on the email network with the Crown Council, are different pay structures and bonus structures and how to manage them. But there's a platform that is provided through Eddie HR that manages not only that, but payroll. How many of you use a different company for all these things so far that I have mentioned? And on top of that, processing your payroll, Jordan can also process, not Jordan himself, but his business and platform will process your payroll. Applicant tracking. We've been talking about how hard it is to find your applicants, but it'll track and recruit. So I just throw that out, Stu, because I would like our practices to know that it's tough to manage like 5 different ways to bring all of this into your daily business. And it's really nice to kind of have a one-stop shop that specializes in all of it. Jordan, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we've been built out for, kind of those smaller practices that just need help from hire to fire, right? So we post to 25,000 different job boards now with applicant tracking. We can go as niche as going into the local schools that you're trying to recruit from, specific dental practices. There's actually job boards for that you can post to through Eddie directly with one job posting. You can make it really simple. We help you manage your entire hiring process, even streamline it so it's like a drag and drop system. You drag and drop it. It sends them out an email, say, hey, set up your second interview. It syncs to your calendars. I mean, it's really streamlined. It's just so easy to use and built for small businesses. The one other thing that I'll hit is we're actually trying to democratize HR. And so we built out a community called the HR Mavericks that's 100% free. You can go on and become a member today. But that has, like, if you want to learn how to hire, click in how to hire and it'll pull up 91 articles on how to hire, right? And it'll give you best tips and tricks. If you want to build an employee handbook, there's even templates and things inside there. You could kind of try and do it on your own. I don't recommend it because it might not hold up in court. You want those legal reviewed, but like it just gives you just an abundant amount of information for free right on that HR Maverick. So whether you join Eddie or call me or have questions, and if I can help you out, I highly recommend jumping on HR Mavericks because it's free and it's just a great resource for HR stuff. So
nice.
Very cool.
Stu,
Right.
Go ahead, Steve.
So, Jordan, if there is someone listening who does not have an employee handbook, how do they call 911 to reach you?
Oh, I got it.
Bam.
I've ready.
love it.
So Eddie HR, actually, they've created this page this is like the Crown Council's landing page. Is this the best place, Jordan?
Yeah, that's an excellent place. Yeah, if you put in their information, they're gonna have a sales rep call them within probably seconds, if not minutes, and they can get a demo set up to walk them through Eddie. I can share my direct information if you ever want to reach out to me or on the channel via email. But
in fact, Stu, can you show everybody where to find it on the Crown Council website?
Yeah, easy.
So easy. All the resource partners have their own page.
crowncouncil.com.
Go to crowncouncil.com, go into your premium member hub. Well, actually, no, excuse me. We're down in the
Resource Partner Hub.
Bam. And then categorized by category, right? By type of business.
Yeah. Human resources.
Jordan, you got your own heading there.
Yeah.
Love it.
So there you are.
That looks beautiful.
So all the contact information is there. Is that all correct, Jordan? We got you. That's Josh's.
Yeah.
Yeah, we may need to update that with my information. Josh is a great person that obviously works at Eddie as well.
Okay.
But I oversee kind of partnerships, and I'm the HR evangelist on some things. The other thing, no, I think that looks great. And the one thing I was going to mention, you see up in the corner, the Smiles for Life. For anyone that uses Eddie services, we actually give a percentage back to the Smiles for Life nonprofit. So that's one thing we do at Eddie as well. So
love that. Thank you for that. You are part of the Smiles for Life family. We just went over all the results for the 2022 campaign. So you are in good company.
Thanks, Jordan.
that. Thanks, guys.
So good.
All right. Well, that's great. We'll wrap that segment. We'll keep this recording. We're going to put it up on the Crown Council website in case you want to review hottest issue in HR now, social media laws, and do you have a handbook?
Yes.
Sure. That was good.
Thanks,
All right,
guys.
thanks, Jordan.
Appreciate it.
See ya.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good one. Take care.
Well, I don't know if Matt. Oh, Spence has gone too. I don't know if Massey's in or not. I'll ask DJ to bring him in if he is. I just texted him, but maybe maybe as a introduction, Steve, to Ron before he gets here. How do you know Dr. Massey? You're related. Maybe just introduce him.
Yeah. So Ron Massey practices in Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri. Yes, the location of the now famous show on Netflix, Ozarks. Although
Hey, Dr. Ron.
I understand that whole series is filmed in Georgia. Anyway, things are not always as
coming to an end.
There he is, Dr. Massey.
But it was filmed in Georgia, except some of the trailers and headers were filmed here at the lake. But yes,
it's put your town on the map.
I hate to tell you, some of the themes that are in there are Ozarkian.
They're not too far from the truth.
Just over the hill.
Oh,
and I'll tell you one thing. The one thing that is beautiful about it is, you know, the old saying about publicity, as long as they spell your name correctly, it has put your town on the map worldwide. Everybody knows where it is. So we were just talking, Ron, you and I originally met many, many years ago through your Henry Schein sales rep, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Helen Gross.
Yeah. And that has been a few years ago.
1997.
Yep. Helen had actually been through our training and then talked to you about it. And that's how you originally encountered us. And we've been doing stuff together for a long time. Longtime Crown Council member, lifetime qualified member, and been part of the Total Patient Service family as well for many years. Pam Peterson, your practice advisor, was just in your office last week. Is that right?
Week before, yeah.
Last was just there working with your team. And Ron has the distinct honor of being my Miles for Life wingman.
Mm-hmm.
I think the very first one, right, Ron?
Exactly.
Ron, you were there. And also has the very distinct honor of being my barber.
That was good. That was a
And
good
how
one.
much money did we raise? I think we raised like 110 or $120,000.
$100,000. Massey threw down a challenge. He
Wow.
got me to agree to shave my head if we raised $100,000. It was, the whole thing was rigged. I think you already had all the money raised.
Yeah, I didn't. And it took a whole, I think it was like 21 minutes.
But what I didn't realize is that part of the deal was that you got to shave my head. So Massey was my barber.
That was so funny.
I was good. I was good with it until you pulled out the razor.
That was
He
bad.
pulled out, man. It wasn't good enough just to use the shears, man. After he did the shears, he pulled out the razor.
Wow.
Whew.
You know, you got to, let's make it real. Don't do something halfway. You got to do it all the way.
Anyway, so thank you, Ron, for all of the great companionship and support. We're going to talk a little bit about Smiles for Life, and I want to talk about your practice as well. But we're going to talk first about the Smiles for Life campaign. We just went over the results for the 2022 campaign, which we're coming over the finish line and starting into next year. And you've been doing Smiles for Life whitening campaign, how many years?
2005, I've got record back to. So Ron's practice has raised $218,190. And that does not include this year's. So that's a Smiles for Life Hall of Fame, 200,000, incredible amount. Yeah.
So,
well, and that doesn't, the other thing that doesn't include is like other efforts, like Steve was just talking about with other things we've done.
Right.
And by the way, Greg, if you're still with us, I want to know whether we're doing the ski thing in Salt Lake City before the annual event. Like I suggested, I'm going to twist his arm a little more. Gregorio, I'm talking about you, my brother.
Okay, so we got it.
He's just nervous about your knee, Ron.
We may have a.
Don't worry about my knee. My knee's good.
Okay.
We may have a Smiles for Life ski challenge with the annual events. So,
Fun.
Ron, let's talk about Lake of the Ozarks and Smiles for Life whitening campaign and what you've done over the last 18 years to engage the community in doing good. How does it work?
Well, one of the biggest things that I attribute our success to is we talk about it. We talk about it in the office. We talk about it in the community. We have a magazine called LO Profile. Very, very nice upscale magazine, much like the Dallas magazine. I was in Dallas last weekend, actually McKinney, and saw the Dallas magazine in the airport there when I flew down. But it's getting the word out, getting the exposure out, and exposing who is going to benefit from this. And in our situation, I've been on our board of directors for our local YMCA now about 26 years. And that organization does so much good for the community. And one of the biggest things that we reinforce as to why they are our beneficiary for Smiles for Life is no one in our YMCA is refused a membership or the ability to participate in our YMCA activities because of financial constraints. And so some of the money that we give every year goes into a resource that the YMCA continues to have so that the children in our youth programs are not denied. Those kinds of things are real attention getters. And when you tie that back to the practice, it becomes significant. So it's a symbiotic thing. We've gained a tremendous number of patients and families into the practice because of that, but also the other way around. So
nice.
That's number one. Make sure that you're tied with a great organization that's going to benefit from your efforts, and make sure they're out there talking about it in the community with you. The second thing is that when we launch the campaign here in the office, we actually do a pre-launch so that we start posting things to social media when it's going to start, so patients can actually start scheduling their whitening long before the campaign starts.
Nice.
On March 1st. And so we'll hit the ground running right out of the gate. And that's a big thing. Third thing we do is we've partnered with several of the restaurants and hotel around the lake area, and no hotels yet, but the restaurants around the lake area. One is Shawnee Bluff Vineyard, and their whole family the owners of that are all patients of ours. And so they do a full day, everything that they take in, and not just the profit, everything that they take in for that full day, they call it Give Back Tuesday, comes to our effort for Smiles for Life.
Nice.
It's just a little small vineyard. It's basically a vineyard. They serve pizza, and that's really about the pizza and a cheese plate if you want that. But they really don't serve a lot of food. But I think this year it's about $3,300 or $3,400. Out of that, though, interestingly, we've had another restaurant from a family that joined the practice. They now have come to us, and they do a Give Back Tuesday that we benefited from also, and that one was almost $4,000 that they give to Smiles for Life. So partner with the organization that's going to receive your work and the financial from it, but also then reach out and start partnering with others. We have a On the Water restaurant, a third one now coming up for next year. And the owner of that has become a patient of ours because he heard about what we were doing through one of the others. And so it just keeps going. And that's really helped us a lot.
Now, I understood because of all this work you're doing in the community that you actually have an appearance on an upcoming episode of Ozark. Is that right?
No.
I've been waiting for the dental episode.
Yeah.
No, but I may have another one, and I will talk about that with you offline.
Okay.
It's a patient that's been indicted for a criminal activity, and she's now going to mention us because we've helped her with her smile on 60 Minutes coming up. True story.
That's great. That's nice of her to loop you in on that.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the practice real quick. Quick little backstory that some may or may not know that makes Ron Massey unique in many ways. You had a career in business before you became a dentist. You worked for IBM for several years. How many years with IBM?
A little over 5.
5 years with IBM. It's got a great business education, and then went to dental school, became a dentist. So you got a good business background before you ever went into practice. So running a practice was, there's always surprises, but with your business background, very, very savvy. Talk to us about why you have a coach.
Well, Gary Pinkel, who is the retired head football coach at the University of Missouri of Columbia, Mizzou, is a friend of mine. And Gary made a comment to me several years ago. He's the winningest coach in the history of Mizzou football. And he and Missy have become great friends of ours. And Gary made a comment to me a while back. He said, every coach needs a coach. I think that says it in a nutshell. Steve, you're one of my coaches, as you know. Pam is one of my coaches. My wife is one of my coaches. And every coach needs a coach. We can't do it by ourselves. When I went with IBM, I had what we call a big brother. And Stan is still my big brother. And he is my coach. And he makes an effort every month to 6 weeks to say, okay, here, how are you doing? Where are you? Hold me accountable, but also is interested. So that is huge in the scheme of things. And if you don't have a coach, who is helping you with what you need? That's a biggie. That's a biggie.
Well put. And I love that quote. Every coach needs a coach. Along with that, you have been part of a Crown Council mastermind for many, many years. We affectionately named the group Top of the Table. And that goes back, I've lost track of the number of years, but it's probably 12 plus maybe, right?
Oh, at least
that. What do you get from your mastermind group? What's because that has been part of your formula for many, many years. Why?
Well, the mastermind group is the birds of a feather that flock together. I don't know how else better to say it. We've lost some guys. We've gained some guys. But really, even we stay in touch. We love each other. We care about each other, and we're willing to do. At the drop of a hat, I'm convinced that if one of us was in a dire straits situation, if not everybody, almost everybody would be on a plane headed to help us out. It's that kind of camaraderie. So, but we also, we share a lot with each other. For instance, next week I'll be at the COI Symposium. Peter Young and I always sit together. We've been in that mastermind group from ground zero, and we're having dinner together. We corroborate, even sitting there, and we talk about not only everything we learned at the COIS Symposium, but everything that we learned through total patient service, everything we learned through the Crown Council, and how we continue to grow ourselves and grow our practice and grow our mastermind cohorts.
Never-ending process.
It is.
All right, so these are Stu's going to ask you our favorite question, Ron. Go for it, Stu.
Ron, if you were
that's a deviant laugh.
Well,
this is a great question.
I was only laughing. I hope I get it right. If you were to travel back in time, Ron, and talk to young Ron, what advice? What would you? He's doing it all over again. What are some things that were good, bad? What would you share? Maybe if you were doing it over again, or lessons learned. What would you talk to Dr. Baby Ron?
The first thing I would say is get a business mentor. That's been extremely valuable. I did not, when I hit the ground in my dental practice, I did not have a business mentor. I did follow the lead of one thing that I learned in dental school. It's not the only thing, but it's one of the most important things. In one of the business classes that we had, which was really pretty few and far between in dental school, but the professor made a comment that get a CPA. Start with a CPA, because they can help you in the business situation, and the fact that they are a licensed professional in your state holds them accountable, just like the dental board in each respective state holds us accountable. So get a CPA. And I did that. That helped a lot until my CPA dropped the ball and then ended up drinking himself to death, which is a whole nother story. Sad but true. But that's the first thing. The second thing is, as far as the practice size is concerned, physical size, always overbuild. We thought we overbuilt when we bought the building we're in and remodeled it, and we use every square inch. And we are entering into some serious pursuit after Labor Day this year. This is kind of an announcement to build a new office. I received a call about 3-4 weeks ago from Stu Humans, and he said, here again, Crown Council brother. And he said, brother, I need a call. I need a perspective. He said, I'm 52 years old. We have outgrown our physical facility. My partners think I'm crazy to want to build a new practice. And what do you think? And I said, Stu, I'm 62 years old and I'm getting ready to build a new practice. He said, I don't need to hear anymore.
End of conversation.
End of that conversation. So and I have people ask all the time, when are you going to retire? I don't know. Where's that going to take me? So, don't plan on laying over. That would be the third thing I'd say. If you don't have a purpose, there's no purpose, and there's no, where do you go from there? So, as Stu and Steve, you guys both know, I'm not one to sit around and watch the grass grow, because the grass is always going to grow. What's that get me? And it doesn't do anything for my friendships, my relationships, my family, or anybody else. So the fourth thing that I would say is, don't become a convict of an insurance company. Insurance companies will convict you, not legally, not criminally, but they will convict you to an area of dentistry that is not in your best interest. It's not in the patient's best interest. It's only in their best interest. So don't become tied up with the insurance companies. Don't get into a contract with an insurance company. They're doing a good job of destroying medicine and the medical care system. We have patients come to us all the time because we are moving very much so into the depths of a oral medicine based practice in a very expedited way. And I have sitting here on my desk, I have blood work from 3 different patients that want me to review it because they don't trust their physician. They don't even know if they have never seen their physician, and they don't know if their physician's even looked at it. They got a call from the nurse that said, "You're okay."
Wow.
And they're not, they're sick.
Yeah.
And they know they don't feel good. So we are moving into that realm, and I would encourage every dentist out there to look into direct diagnostics and the HR5 testing. We're doing 3 to 4 tests a day on patients. I'm getting ready to go take the packet for the week. And I think there's like 17 or 18. We only working 3 days a week. I think there's 17 or 18 tests in there that we've done this week alone. And you need to be a healthcare provider first and foremost, and the rest of it will fall in place. The numbers, your income, all the rest of it, it'll take care of itself.
It is an exciting time to be in dentistry. And
yes, it is.
As we talk about a lot, dentistry is the frontline healthcare profession, and the one that touches more of the community than anybody else. And you do that in so many ways, in just how you run your practice, how you do the Smiles for Life whitening campaign, as well as all your charitable efforts to do good. So great example. So thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you, Ron.
Let me leave you with one thought to carry forward for everybody. And that is, and this goes right back to what Jordan was talking about a few minutes ago. You need to take care of your employees the way you want your employees to take care of your patients.
Yeah, agreed.
If you provide them time and you care about them and their families, we have a group chat room. And this morning, one of our hygienists, oral medicine specialists, posted a picture of her daughter taking her first steps.
Nice.
And you can imagine the team, a whole group of women. I'm the only guy here. And that thing blew up.
Nice.
And so we're that kind of a family.
Yeah, that's great.
The husbands of all the employees on their birthday, I send them a text and say, happy birthday. On the kids' birthdays, we do for the kids, we do for the families. I mean, all the time. So take care of your employees in the way that you want them to take care of your patients.
Love it.
Smart.
Well put, Dr. Massey. Thank you for the organized thinking. Man, this is like, you just laid out a textbook for Smiles for Life, a textbook for your practice, the point 1, point 2, point 3. Very, very organized thinker, which I've always known you are. So thank you for laying it out in an easy to follow format, and for your ongoing great example. So appreciate that very much. Happy to do it. And I am one of my things I'm very much looking forward to. Those that were the annual event in January here in Dallas got to see your daughter Sigrid on stage at the annual event. We recruited her behind the scenes to announce one of our awards. I wonder who that was. That was so fun, journalist major, and I am very, very much looking forward to seeing her on stage again this next week at Eagle U. She is going to be a presenter at Eagle U, and looking very, very much forward to seeing that. It's been so fun to watch her grow up and become the woman that she is, and now in turn to pay it forward and to help other people. So you're raising some good ones.
You get them both. You get her and Iona next week. So
absolutely.
You have the Massey girls tagged here.
We are. We're gonna have the Massey family. You're welcome to come. We're gonna have the.
I'm gonna be in Seattle. Sorry.
You got
I'd love to be there.
You got it. Well, thanks for sharing them with us.
Thanks for your time, Ron. Thank you.
Happy
Great to be with you. Okay.
Thanks, man.
Man, what a good guy. He's
good
the best.
Track record. It's so cool to see all that coming. We got so many so many like Ron Massey and the Crown Council are just such good mentors. And one of the things that I appreciate, Stuart, the most about people like Ron is there isn't anybody in the Crown Council that Ron wouldn't be willing to pick up the phone and talk to one-on-one and give some counsel or advice or just share his experience. And that's a big part of the community and one of the benefits of being in a Crown Council mastermind group as well. So appreciate his example.
I agree. He's always treated me that way. And it's, interesting when we interviewed Joe last week, his phrase is almost exactly the same as Ron's. Take care of the people that are in your practice and they will take care of you. I mean, that was his exact words in his Mentor of the Month. So neat that these like-minded docs are coming together. So
last thing I'll just say about that is I've been to Lake of the Ozarks more than once, been in Ron's practice. In fact, he even took me motorcycle riding around the Ozarks one time. And one of the things that I love about the whole Crown Council philosophy and everything we do at TOPS to build the practice to this point is when I go into a town like that and very, very clear who the dentist is in town.
Nice. Yeah.
Very, very clear. Just driving around and talking to people and just seeing the little signs and just points, just there's clear signs and signals of just all of those things that have been done through all those efforts to have a presence
as a leader.
A dominant presence in the community is one of the real key success factors, one of the real objectives of creating a culture of success and making that happen. And he is definitely a great example of that. So.
Yeah. Fun to hear all those restaurants and hotels that just give him money. Give him money.
Right?
Very cool. Very good.
Good show today, Stu. Thank you.
It's been a good hour. Thanks, Steve. Next week we'll be here. I don't know what's going to be here, but we'll be here. So thanks so much. A lot of good stuff today. And we'll say goodbye a little early. So thanks, Steve.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay. See ya.